أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على خير خلقه أجمعين محمد
اللهم صل على محمد
وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المنتجبين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا.
اللهم صل على محمد
وعلى أصحابهم الغر الميامين واللعن الدائم على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. قال الله عز وجل في كتابه الكريم في سورة الممتحنة الآية الرابعة منها المجادلة الممتحنة الآية الرابعة منها وين يقول الله عز وجل بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قد كانت لكم أسوة حسنة في إبراهيم والذين معه إذ قالوا لقومهم إنا براء منكم ومما تعبدون من دون الله كفرنا بكم وبدا بيننا وبينكم العداوة والبغضاء أبدا حتى تؤمنوا بالله وحده إلا قول إبراهيم لأبيه لأستغفرن لك وما أملك لك من الله من شيء ربنا عليك توكلنا وإليك أنبنا وإليك المصير آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم وبلغ رسوله الكريم وصدق مولانا أمير المؤمنين ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد.
Respected brothers, no sisters, audience, listeners, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Today's discussion, inshallah, will be about, since this week we are talking about being black and Muslim. So today's today's discussion will be being black Muslim at home. The black Muslim at home, inshallah. Now, this discussion, it's as if it's unique to us. It's as if it's new to, and it only came with the advent of the black South African Muslim. No, it's an age-old thing. It even predates the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. How? The verse that I started with now in Surah Al-Mumtahana, it speaks about Nabiullah Ibrahim alayhi wa ala nabiyina wa alihi assalam, where Nabi Ibrahim tells him and those who follow him, tell their qawm, tell their clan or tell their tribe, you know what, we don't believe in what you believe, we don't follow what you follow, we believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one true living God, the eternal God. In fact, due to this, maybe some enmity may come between us, and we have to separate from you. So it has happened. But that separation, how did it happen? It didn't happen that they separated and said, no, now we become Muslim and then we move out. Like we leave the tribe and then we're going to isolate ourselves there. There's a story that some people, when they became Muslim, now they throw away all their modern or common clothes. It's common now, it's no more modern. And then now Kirikurta one way, always wearing white cloths and whatnot. You see, now they are now something else because no, I've become Muslim now. You see, no, that's not necessary. This is more a theological or a mental, a heart action whereby you're like, okay, I separate from these people. They eat certain food, I eat certain food. They pray a certain way, I pray a certain way. They do this, I do that. That's how it is. So it predates even the Holy Prophet. Even the Holy Prophet faced the same thing. When he told people, no, I am the Prophet, Allah has sent me, what did they do? They expelled him. They isolated him. He had to stay in a valley with no means for business, with no means for agriculture with no means for anything for a year. In the year that he lost his uncle Abu Talib alayhi salam and his wife Sayyidatin Nisa Quraysh, Khadija, who I believe without a shadow of doubt is the reason why other wives of the Prophet are known as Ummul Mu'mineen. Her sacrifices, her actions are the reason why the others deserve that title. They only got it because they married her husband. Yeah, now she's the reason behind that title. That's my belief. If you believe the same way, alhamdulillah. If you don't, argue with your grandma. But that's, you see, so even they went through this. Even the Prophet himself went through this. So in Tuyaquba, a Muslim at home amongst the non-Muslim family, extended family, it's not new. It will not even end with us. Because you might say, why us? Why was Bala? Because I was born to Muslim parents. But my Muslim parents have, my extended family is not Muslim. So I also experience certain pressures from there. You experience certain differences. Because there are many challenges that we have. For example, eating pork, eating this and that. Now you've become Muslim, you can't eat with them. Not only can you not eat with them, you can't eat from the same pots as them. Before you see, it becomes difficult, and this is a challenge. I remember a few years ago, in the month of Ramadan, the whole family is giving a lecture. I remember a few years ago, in the month of Ramadan, Sister Habiba, may Allah bless her efforts for whatever she has done in Pretoria, inshallah. Her and her husband and her children for their sacrifices. Sleepless nights of us reciting loud here while they were studying. Those were, may Allah bless them immensely for that. We used to cook here, we expect 20 people, but we always used to cook for 30 people. Why? Because she would always say, look, Hussein, just cook extra, because you don't know who lives in a household where there's no halal food. Maybe this month of Ramadan is the only time they can eat proper halal food. And this is a fact, this is true. There are some people, they go home, they depend on their parents fully, but they are still Muslims, or they depend on their families fully, but they are Muslim. So whatever they eat, he has to eat, or she has to eat. There's no choice. So that's a huge challenge. That's a huge challenge. The solution to that can be just educating. It's a good discussion to have in families. It's good to have discussions in families. Not only that, no, we are family by blood. No, there should be discussions because we have to grow together. We live in an age now where they say blood is no more thicker than water. Blood will always be thicker than water. So long as the Quran says, وَيَقْطَعُونَ مَا أَمَرُوا بِهِ أَن يُوصَلْ, and they cut which that they are obligated to keep connected, blood will always remain thicker than water. Yes, the friends are people that you are like-minded with, and it's easy to relate with them. But your family, it's difficult, because these people you are imagine with siblings, there are 8 of us, from one mother and one father, 8 of us, but 8 different personalities right there. Sitting here in front of you, I'm not going to say that I'm close to all 8 of them, all 7 of them. I'm not going to say I'm 30 years old now, I've never fought with all 7 of them. It happens, that's how it is. But that is the test. You must maintain ties with those people. This is just my siblings. What about my cousins? What about my uncles? What about my aunts? I'm just using me as an example because big family, big extended family. You are obligated to keep with them. So those people, those are the ones that you should discuss with them, most importantly. Make them understand. Don't argue with them. Don't fight with them. Talk with them nicely about halal, because it's a big challenge. As I'm saying, there are some people, the only time they can eat halal food is during the month of Ramadan, either here when we have our programs, or in other mosques when they go for iftar. But this doesn't justify pizza. Hey, no. Some cannot practice Islam, and it's very difficult, especially the ladies. Some cannot practice Islam. They want to wake up for Fajr The family now make it deliberately difficult for muthateng askarapel. Find that maybe go bedroom, I want space, rapel. So what you work is a veranda. We want to use the veranda, you want to use the living room. The family make it deliberately difficult. They switch on music. They don't listen to music throughout the day except when you want to pray. You see, it's difficult. It's difficult. For ladies, it's even worse. You'll find that there are many ladies who become Muslim, and then because we are dumb, I'm counting, because we are stupid, we want to judge them. Why asa apar hijab? We don't know the challenges that they face, Kohai. We really don't know the challenges that they face, Kohai. The only time she can wear hijab is when she's at the gate of the mosque, not even kostrating, because it will be tobir, it will be now problem. Yeah, where now? You understand? It's difficult. You see? So when a sister says nyale, consider it, or maybe this is the reason that she can't practice Islam at home. So once you marry her, at least she'll say, my man says I must dress this way. And generally families will be like, okay, yeah, no, it's her man. Especially if you did whatever they want culturally, lobola and so on and so forth. Then they'll be like, her man said, Fallada. It's very difficult. Some people cannot practice Islam. It's difficult. For us, alhamdulillah, it's easy for us to judge, especially for me who was born to a Muslim family. It's easy for me to judge anyone else. Say, ole so. But these are problems that people face, and we should support them by dua and by other solutions that I'll mention, inshallah. The biggest challenge that black Muslims at home face is when it comes to burial. Marriage is easy, you just go there with a Maulana to explain with them, blah blah blah. Alhamdulillah, now in South Africa we have many South African scholars who can speak the South African languages and understand the dynamics. So when they explain certain things, it's easy for the families to understand when it comes to marriage. Burial, we were just having a conversation about it now before we recited Dua Iftitah. It's difficult. Some, they are married to a non-Muslim lady. When the guy passes away, the lady doesn't want the Muslims to bury the husband. Some, he's a Muslim, he passes away, the family doesn't want us to bury him. Some, like the incident that you mentioned now, Khore, the family doesn't want the Muslims to bury the guy. Why? Because you Muslims don't permit women at your burial, and I'm his mother. I want to be there when he's buried. You see, there are many challenges that we face. You can think of more examples than I, because I was absent for 7 years in South Africa. Okay, now one sign law there are some mosques, while the speaker is speaking or the reciter is reciting, they just unplug the mic. Lucky me, I have the mic. The mic is mine. So these are challenges that people face. But when it comes to burial, I'm sure it's not gonna end with us. It's gonna continue. This thing of non-Muslim, until we come up with a way of writing wills, until we come up with a way of families really acknowledging that, yeah, you know what, this guy is Muslim now. Because the funny thing is, it's common that in South Africa you'll find in one, the father kimuzetsisi, the mother kimuzalwa, the sister kimpostoli, the brother ki ing. It's not a problem when they want to be buried by their own churches. It becomes a problem only if one of them is Muslim and then those four gang up against the Muslim. This is surprising. So it's a huge challenge that we have, that I mentioned in the lectures, previous lectures. It's a challenge that we have to fix and make people understand that Islam is not foreign to black South Africans. Yeah, everyone. It's a huge challenge that we have. This one here, burial, it breaks the heart because first of all, it's an obligation on us, on Muslims. Maybe we as Muslims need to pull up our socks to make sure that we bury our fellow Muslims Islamically. By hook or by crook, by force or by kindness, inshallah, because it's an obligation upon us. When a Muslim is buried non-Islamically, it is an ithm upon all of us. It is a black spot on all of us. That's the thing. That's the problem, you see. So there are several solutions that you can mention, but here I only have three. Number one is that you become an exemplar in terms of your information, in terms of your reading. Last night I was mentioning how we have to take up Islamic habits of reading, having discussions, and so on and so forth. It's very important that in your family you have to become that exemplar. No, this one uchenchitse now. Akasateleli manje sekahlonipha. Sayisolo asonta kule sonto leli la mandia yabona awu dibra sallu ala muhammad wa ala muhammad
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali
demand. You see, you have to be an example for baizor. No man, oh, since I'm Muslim, hey demand, he never used to like reading. This guy, since he's a Muslim, he's always with a book in his hand. This one, since he became Muslim, he's always listening to discussions and lectures and whatnot. You see, you become that example of, okay, no, this person is informed. Not only about Islamic things, especially about current affairs. You give them an Islamic perspective on current affairs. It's very important that we have to be that one. Now, the other one is generally be a better human. Generally be a better human in all aspects of it. Just be a better person. Be a better son, be a better brother, be a better sibling, be a better father, be a better cousin, be better in all aspects. Be dependable. For or no, look, this one, since he became Muslim, he's a better person generally. You see, there's a challenge that I can make even to myself. Okay, you've been Muslim for 20 years, you've been Muslim for 10 years, 15 years. Which one of your relatives has become Muslim since you've become Muslim? Or even if they haven't become Muslim, because maybe that's too difficult, which one of your relatives has a better understanding of Islam since you became Muslim? Which one? Can you like maybe say, oh no, my sister now, when people ask her how, why is, for example, Dolani a Muslim, she can tell them, or no, Dolani is a Muslim because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, since he became Muslim, he eats halal. Halal means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on and so. Which one of us can point to any sibling, to any relative, to any one in our close sect, to any of our neighbors who has either become Muslim or has a better understanding of Islam? This is a challenge. Big challenge. No. Because if we can pass these, if we can implement these solutions, it's going to be easy. Tomorrow, when we want to bury you and your mother says, no, I will bury my own son, the neighbors will say, oh, Omar, we knew that this guy was a Muslim. We knew that she was a Muslim. Every Friday we used to see him go there. Every Thursday, we know that he was a Muslim. They can be witnesses to that. Beyond the will, beyond the written paper, they can be witnesses, which is better than even the written. The written paper can just be torn apart. Thus, we see, by being a better person, the hadith ascribed to the Prophet, al-Islam yajubbu ma qabla. So maybe you are notorious before Islam, but after Islam, it is erased. It's a clean slate. Start afresh. Be a better person. Build yourself anew. Find yourself anew. Those who haven't, please listen to yesterday's talk on YouTube, inshallah. Then also, directly or indirectly, as a Muslim, you have to be the leader in your family, one way or the other. Maybe by showing it now, being bossy to everyone in a good way, But directly or indirectly, you have to be the lead. Alhamdulillah, majority of us now, when there's a wedding, when there's a funeral, they always call you to slaughter. Alhamdulillah, that's a good step. It means they acknowledge that if this guy doesn't slaughter the cow, he will not eat. And they can't afford for you not to eat when you are a relative. That's a step in the right direction. And that's you being a leader. I saw it with Al-Marhum Hajj Abdul Latif Mbalati, Rahmatullahi alayhi. After the talk, we should recite Al-Fatiha for him and his brother and all now deceased. And my father as well. There is no event except that my father is called. Are you coming? Yes, okay. Please come early so that you slaughter. That is that's very good. It's a big positive. We should not take it lightly. So one way or the other, you have to be the leader of your family. Maybe not the final one, the one who has the final say, because maybe there's an elder brother or your father is still alive or something. You see, maybe, but you have to have that influence as a Muslim. They have to know, hey, we can't do anything. We have to call Mzala. Mzala has to help us. He has to be here when we make this decision. Like in the dua of Tuesday that we recite every Tuesday of Imam Sajjad, he teaches us, "Waj'alni azizan fi ashirati wa qawmi," and make me mighty or make me respected in my tribe and in my circle. One way or the other, you have to be. You have to work on that. Find a way. You can't be Muslim and then be low-class citizen. No, I refuse. For me, it's difficult because now everyone is Muslim in my family, so it's fine if I stay unrespected. I'm exempt from this. I'm just joking, but we have to find a way. No, in your family they respect you. They take your opinion seriously. Yeah, don't always say Quran iti. Don't always say no Imam uti. Just say no. There's a wise saying that I learned iti. Then they'll be like, oh, okay. Because once you mention these terms that are problematic, Quran, Hadith, then they reject. They have that thing in their hearts that wants to reject. So if you put it nicely, the Imam said the Hadith ascribed to Imam Ja'far. He didn't say tell them I said 1, 2, 3. He says no. Tell them about my words. Then if they hear my words, they'll follow me. They'll follow us, Imam Ja'far says. So you don't have to always say, no, Imam Ja'far said, Imam Ali said. Just say this, give the saying, fair. Then, inshallah. One practical thing that we have to do immediately, this is a big responsibility on me, but on everyone else, is that we have to do sort of a revival, by visiting brothers, going to their homes, every now and then we just have a prayer, random prayer, gibo tolani, random prayer, gibo mangmang, random prayer here and there, whereby the families know, okay, no, these Muslims, they pitch in this household, they pitch here, we see them, we know them. Then should anything happen, number one on speed dial, hey, your person is sick here, please come attend him. Your person just left this world, please. It was very interesting. I think it's 4 years ago, when a brother in Atteridgeville passed away. The first thing that the family did was call his Muslim friends. I was shocked. I was like, oh, mashallah, this is good. Then they were like, no, look, okay, we as a family, we want to do it this way, but let's hear from you as the Muslims. Let's hear from you. It was, I'm sure, the easiest, smoothest sailing funeral ever, where the family was not Muslim. So we have to do that the families must know each other. This dua kumail doesn't necessarily have to be in one place all the time. Let's do it so that the families know us, so that should anything happen, whether you are getting married, whether you need to be buried, whether this or that, they know who to call first. It can help us. Then we don't have to use force. Then we can use kindness and say, they'll give us. So this is something that we need to implement as soon as the month of Ramadan ends. That we visit each other, either for prayer nyana, lunch nyana, dinner nyana, dua kumail nyana, something. We have to do it. Noma Ganjan. I've gone 9 minutes over the time allocated to me. Forgive me. But this is a very important discussion, especially this week, being black and Muslim in South Africa. These are discussions that need to be had and have not been had before. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first and foremost to make us good Muslims, good examples and good ambassadors of Islam, inshallah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to not take us from this life except as Muslims, inshallah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us by any means to grow Islam in our localities, inshallah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to our deceased brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, Haj Abdul Latif, Mama Atia Nchinyani, and others. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to send to them the reward of Surah Al-Fatiha before its Salat ala Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Al-Fatiha. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. الحمد لله رب العالمين.